Hello and welcome to another beautiful morning here on Enterprise Friday. Now, if you love Fridays, you're here for company. I'm Chinyere Igwe. Of course, I have Henry here.
Yes, I am Henry Igwe.
All right, let's move quickly to see what the newspapers' front pages are saying. In the meantime, we invite you to check our pages on social media. Our handles are Enterprise TV7, and you may visit our website at www.enterprisetvnews.com. Our guest for this segment is Dr. Olayinka Oyegbile. He is a journalist and a public affairs commentator. Dr. Oyegbile, you're welcome to the program.
Thank you very
Good
much.
morning to you, sir.
Good morning.
Thank you. Good morning.
Right. Let's start off with the Vanguard this morning. What do we have? The big story here, Lagos-Calabar coastal road, uproar over costs as federal government proposed 3,000 naira per toll gate.
That's very, very ridiculous if you ask me. Well, on the top strip of the same newspaper, we have Orderly declares Fubara a leader of the PDP in River State.
All right. We also have on the top strip, Tinubu, Jibrin, Kalu, Uzodinma, Obi, others, more as Ogbonnaya Onu dies at 72.
Yes, and also on the bottom strip of the banner headline, we have Okwama. Army invades another Delta community, arrest 10, raises a home.
All right, let's stay on the big story this morning. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road, uproar over costs as federal government proposes 3,000 naira for toll. And to do justice to that, to expatiate more on that story is Dr. Olayinka. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you very much.
Yes. So I'm looking at this report, federal government's proposed plan to put toll at 3,000 naira. In some quarters, some people are saying this is anti-people. Again, this sort of justifies the amount of money they intend to invest in this particular project. In order of priority, do you think this is what the federal government should be driving at this time?
Well, I join my voice with those of others who have been talking about the toll fee.
Right.
In the first place, the road construction has just started. You don't even know how long it's going to take you, although they said 4 years or thereabout.
Right.
You have already put a toll fee, 3,000. So what it means is that between now and 2027, or whenever it is going to be completed, it is still subject to change. Or even if it's not subject to change, a road that you have not done, you have not even done half a kilometer of it, you are already telling us how much you want to charge. Apart from it being too expensive, even for this time, what exactly is the government trying to do? I mean, for me, the APC government under President Bola Tinubu has come in to be like a taskmaster. The very first day you came in, you removed so-called subsidy, you remove electricity subsidy. Now you are talking about this. The promise of 35,000 naira award that you promised workers, I think they've only collected it for maybe once or twice. And then you are constructing a road that you are not, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that I may be wrong, but in my own priority, I think that road for now is not supposed to be a priority.
Okay.
You have the east-west road, which has remained uncompleted since Obasanjo's time, or is it Jonathan's time, up till this moment. How many years ago? You are not talking of completing that or doing the necessary work there. We have so many bad roads in the country. You now want to go and do another east coastal road. Leading to where? What for? Now, the situation we have in this country is like government come in, every government now thinks of what gigantic projects can I do? And when they come with this gigantic project, they come with projects that in most cases are not beneficial to majority of the people. That is why state governments will construct bridges where there are no rivers, construct bridges where there are no traffic jam, and so on and so forth. So this Lagos Coastal Road, 3,000 naira per vehicle and all that, in fact, if you allow the cliche, what it means is that you are putting the cart before the horse. The road should have been constructed first. Let us see how the road will be, how good it is. Then people will be ready to pay. It's just like the issue of electricity tariff now. You have not increased supply to people, you are increasing tariff. What should first of all happen is, let us see that the road is good, you have done a good thing, then you can say, okay, you have tested this road maybe for 6 months or 1 year, then we want to toll it. That's what I think. But in this case, the road has not been completed. The first sword has not even been taken. If you go there now, it's just from Amadou Bello Way in Lagos by the beach that they've done. And then they are already talking of tolling. Why?
Well, it is fair to say that the road in question actually is a public-private partnership, and that solely the private partners are to raise the huge sum of the construction for that road. I guess that's the reason for the toll. An add-on question before we move on to the next story. In 1980, when the Third Mainland Bridge was commissioned by Alhaji Shehu Shagari, it was built for 1 billion naira. As at the time, the dollar was 1 naira to about 0.6 cents. So which puts it at about $600 million, so which was equivalent to 1 billion naira. Now, the question is, if, as at the time, the Third Mainland Bridge was constructed for $1 billion and there was no toll on it, why do you think it's necessary, even if government is to provide funds for this, which was $11 billion, do you still think it's key for them to collect toll on it?
I think it was Babangida that commissioned.
No, it was Shagari that commissioned it. It was Babangida that finished it. Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, in 1990. It was started in 1980 by Shehu Shagari. It was finished in 1990 by Babangida.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, that's settled. I think the times are different. I know that it will be the government's argument. But my question is, what are governments for? Governments are put in place to do things that will make life easy for citizens. People pay tax, and the government gets revenue from other sources. So now, in Nigeria of today, I want to ask pointedly, what is the benefit that the common man gets from government? Nothing. The government doesn't provide water to houses again. In Nigeria, where I grew up, it's the government that provides houses for portable water for every house. I mean, all you just need to do is perhaps to pay some money to pipe it into your houses. But now you see water tank everywhere. Every house has water tank, whether well built or badly built. It has a water tank. So what does government do? Electricity. In fact, people have found a solution to water by constructing boreholes or well. In the other way, people are buying generators and so on and so on. So, I mean, so what is government for? Even roads. Government, how many roads are government built? In my own neighborhood, we contribute money to build our roads. So the government has not really been able to stand up to do anything for the common man. And therefore, I don't see any reason why they should toll that road. Now, at least, if, as you said, if Third Mainland is not tolled, why should they toll that place? And then, even if you are going to toll it, it is too early in the day. You have not constructed a kilometer, yet you are telling us how much you want to charge. And then, I also think the money voted for that road is too much. I think they said about 4 billion 11 for a kilometer.
Okay.
I mean, are they constructing the road on the sea?
All right. So Quickly, let's move on to the Guardian newspaper for today. And the big story here says, hard times for addicts. Fresh concerns as youth get high on feces, nutmeg, illicit substances.
Also on the Guardian, we have Afami Ferrer urges Southwest governors to get federal government's grants for farmers.
And also below the big story, we have Nigeria records $3.2 billion loss in Q1 as oil production hits a record low.
Right. Let's move to the Daily Times, Henry. The big story here, Tinubu to Nigerians, remain patriotic, love, defend Nigeria's integrity, says the sub-writer rather, says renewed hope agenda being diligently implemented.
All right, so before we continue with the Daily Times, let's maybe take a look at some analysis from the Guardian newspaper. And the question, Doctor, is let's look at the issue on Okwama, an inquiry on Okwama killing. Journalists barred as stakeholders worry over fairness. Now, the question is, when you look at such sort of raids in other parts of the world, usually you see, armed teams, going along with journalists, giving them the gears that they need to protect themselves and so on and so forth. In this particular case, the journalists are totally exempted from this. So the question is, where do you think Nigerians or people concerned can start getting newer information on what is happening in Okwama?
I'm shocked that despite all the criticism, the Nigerian army is still going ahead, even banning journalists from covering the inquiry. In the first place, the army in this case is the accuser and the prosecutor. So, and also likely to be the judge. And I take the same road with Femi Falana, SAN, saying that they can't do that. And then they are making the matters worse by banning the press, the media from it. Why are they banning the media from covering it? Because in such a situation, it means that what Yoruba call apakwe, you just want to do everything also under cover, then you come out and you say, okay, so people have been found guilty. Who was their defense counsel? Who was there? How did you find them guilty and all that? I think the president and commander-in-chief should step in at this juncture because the army is overstretching itself. I mean, it's bad enough we all condemn the killing of those military men. It's detestable, and with all strength in our being, we condemn it. But in the same situation, you cannot be an accuser and the prosecutor in your own case. So, banning the press from covering it shows that the army wants to, is either it has something to cover up or it wants to arrive at a pre-concluded, at a preconceived conclusion.
All right, so just to add to that, it's in news that army invades yet another Delta community, arrests 10 persons, and raises homes. It's safe to say that Delta State is in some tenterhooks as we speak because
it's under siege.
Yes, we had conversations about why did the army even go there in the first place? Who gave the order? It's not within their purview, and we are seeing them invading yet another community. Do you have some sort of worry that this may lead to something that we did not even expect?
It is a very, very worrisome thing that is happening there, and every patriotic Nigerian must condemn it because the army does not have the temperament to deal with the civil populace. All these things that the army is doing is a civil matter. It's the police that should deal with it. In fact, it's the police that should deal with it. I wonder why the army is overstretching itself. They have insurgency, they have Boko Haram, they have all those things they are coping with. They want to add this to it. I mean, the president, I think, should call them to order.
Very true. All right, so let's continue with what we have for the Daily Times.
So also in the Daily Times, we have PDP governors in Dilemma as Atiku Wike's camp seeks control of party.
And also on the top strip of the same newspaper, Labour Party to NLC, good students, lame from history.
Also on the top strip, NAF strikes, destroy Lasanda, Toku's camp, neutralizes several terrorists.
All right. All right. I think that's all we have for the Daily Times. And,
okay, so but let's look at the story.
Yeah.
PDP governors in dilemma as Atiku, Wike's camp seek control of the party. PDP has been in this storm for a while now, Dr. Olainka, and we were having some conversations here this week, and I said this may lead to a one-party state when we have the LP in its having its own internal wranglings. We have the PDP at daggers drawn. I know that APC has its own issues here and there, but seeing that Wike, who is a behemoth, allow me to use that word, and Atiku is fighting to own the structure of the PDP. What does this portend for the PDP in the future?
Well, at a different forum, I talked about Atiku and Wike, and the question I asked is Wike still a member of the PDP?
He's one leg in, one leg out.
And as far as I'm concerned, I think what Wike is trying to do is to make sure that the PDP as a party is eternally destroyed. And unfortunately, the party itself has been like a cow. I mean, as you said, Wike has been behaving like some behemoth. But can an individual be bigger than an institution?
Not at all.
I don't know what the PDP thinks it is gaining if by not expelling or suspending Wike. I don't know what they think they will lose if they expel or suspend him. So, if they allow the man to destroy their party, good luck to them. The APC is very happy with what is happening. LP is in crisis, PDP is in tatters, and APC is coasting home, unfortunately, despite all their own woeful performance at the federal level. So,
all right. So let's
Nigerians are the worst for it.
Yeah. So while we look at the People's Democratic Party, of course, let's look at the Labour Party also. There's a story here that says Labour Party to NLC, good students learn from history. Good students learn. You are an educator yourself. So do you think this makes any sense?
I'm not sure what Labour is trying to say there, because even the Labour itself, the NLC, the Labour Union itself, has not learned from history. You see, in Nigeria, we always see other people's fault. We don't see ours.
Right.
Rather than the Labour looking at itself to correct itself, it is looking at Labour Party. The Labour Party is having its own problem. And as I said earlier, I think with all this problem, the APC is the one that is getting stronger, unfortunately.
Right. Thank you so much, Dr. Olainka, for your submission and for coming on the program today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. Yeah.
All right, so that'll be all for this segment. Thanks a lot for being part of it.
Yes, so when we return, 10 years after, the ghost of 2014 National Conference report continues to hover over our nation. We'll find out why in a bit when we return. Please don't go anywhere.